Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Living to Do's review of Married at First Sight, Season 16, Episode 2. It's called Runaway Groom. I didn't review last week's episode because it didn't really give much. In fact, there was no couple interaction, so I thought, what's the point? But let's get started with this review of Episode 2. We did get a couple weddings to talk about, so that's pretty cool. The first couple that I will talk about, it will be Chris and Nicole. Chris is 36 and Nicole is 32. Chris is a business coach and Nicole is a senior marketing advisor. Both are transplants from other states to Nashville. So they're new here. I think they got here right before the pandemic and they haven't dated much. They're both kind of quirky, so I think they have that in common. He's tall and somewhat slender, and she's a short girl, a little thick girl and short, and she's very bubbly and she's too much. I found her to be annoying, just almost hyper in a way. She just has to comment. She's very animated with her eyes, her mouth, her hands. I wonder why she does that. Is she deflecting because of her body type? I don't know what it is, but it's just kind of annoying. He seems quiet, a lot quieter than she is, but he is quirky. He does impressions. He did an impression of Arnold Schwarzenegger. That was okay. And I think he did one of Morgan Freeman, if that's what he said, Morgan Freeman, and that one sucked bad. But I think they could get along based on, I think they're both desperate. They're the type to get together and probably wouldn't leave one another. If anything, she would leave him. But they are both desperate. She's very excited. Just extremely excited about the process. Just anybody talking to her. They went wedding dress shopping and she's being interviewed outside of the store and she has sweaty legs. There's sweat dripping down her legs. And she says that she's not peeing on herself, that her legs are just rubbing together, creating this sweat. And the sweat is dropping down her legs. She's just free with this information. She's just really just constantly talking. Her mom, the day of the wedding, was talking to her and told her that she didn't want her to rush into anything on her wedding night. And she said she wasn't going to do anything because she can't have this man be married to this man that her family has never met, and before they meet him he's defiled her. And I thought, you know what, I agree with her. That makes sense to me. That would be weird. So I agree with her there. She got a present when she was getting ready for her wedding, the morning of her wedding, from her husband, and he gave her a ring, her ring for her finger, and then he gave her a necklace with a diamond on it. It was really pretty and elegant, and she's going to wear it for her wedding. So they get to their wedding and they meet each other and they're saying their vows, and she's talking about that she's talking about the FBI, and that's an abbreviation that her and her mother came up with, talking about full-blooded Italians, only that she's only half Italian. But she puts this in her vows, something about, if you rub them the wrong way, and the FBI is going to come, which is them, the full-blooded Italian. And I thought to myself, she thinks she's funny. And then right after that, she said in her vows that she's hilarious. She's not funny. She's just, oh, very annoying. Very annoying. Um, she was the most excited bride I've ever seen on Married at First Sight. She was very happy, very excited. I mean, just couldn't wait to meet her husband. Couldn't wait for the kiss. Uh, just very, she just comes off as very desperate and might need to take some medication to calm her little self down. She's just all over the place. And she knows it. And when I was watching her wedding, I just felt a little aggy. She just irritated me. Ugh. But he's desperate too. So, he's happy to have somebody in his life. I guess during the wedding, she puts the wedding ring on her husband like everybody does. But after the wedding, they were talking about it. And apparently she had to put that wedding ring over his finger that was cut off. Oh, wow. And she's like, it doesn't bother me. She's telling him. But how would most people feel if you never met somebody and you had, slip this ring on their deformed finger? I mean, I didn't realize it at the time until after they were married and they were talking about it. And he said he got in an accident at work. Something happened and got his finger cut off. That sounds so tragic. And I like him. He seems nice. He's quirky, like I said, but he seems sincere. He seems sweet. So actually I can see this kind of working. Her mom's married and to her husband, and she looks a lot like her daughter, and she might be quirky, and there's somebody for her. So I think it could work. Okay, on to the next couple. Okay, the next couple is going to be Gina and Clint. Gina is 35 and a salon owner, and Clint is 40, and he says he's an account executive. Now, when they went out for their wedding attire, Gina wore a dress. Her first dress I thought was so beautiful on her. It was it was such a pretty dress, and she didn't like it. She just said it was, I think, not enough pizzazz or whatever. But it was so beautiful. It was slimming on her. She kind of has some hips, but I thought this dress is for her. It just made she looked womanly, but not too thick. She looked sexy in her dress. But then she had another dress, her second choice, I didn't like so much. It was okay, but I just thought the first dress was really beautiful. Clint wore it was like a beige suit. It was nice on him. I thought it looked nice. And he didn't have a tie. And I don't know if he knew what the vibe would be of his wedding, not to wear a tie, but he didn't wear a tie. And that didn't really bother me. I thought it was better than all of those people that are wearing no socks. Oh, that's get rid of that trend. I never did like it. But Gina, she made a very beautiful bride when they dressed her up for her wedding, all her makeup. When she was getting her hair done, her hair was like really big. At first, it looked beautiful, but I guess it fell flatter a little bit. It was okay, but I liked it when she was in the hotel room with her big hair. She just looked very pretty, exotic almost. She has a big smile, big eyes, and she's walking down the aisles looking at, I guess, her in-laws. And she was just saying hi with the biggest smile. She looked really happy. When she met him, she hugged him at the altar. And then she had her dog bring the rings down the aisle. And that was the first time that, of course, that Clint met her dog, that she made him a part of the wedding. It was kind of cute. They sat down and talked, and they found out that they live in the same building. She thought she recognized him. So that's interesting that they live in the same building. So when they go see each other as a place, it's probably the same floor plan. And Clint seemed very into her. He seemed like he liked what he saw. He really liked what he saw. So I think they could maybe work. And it looks like he's into her. So I don't know how, I can't really tell how she feels about him. I think she's just excited, probably nervous, but I don't know. I don't get a read on her and how she feels about him. But it was clear that he really liked her. Okay, on to the next couple. Okay, the next couple will be Shaquille and Kirsten. And Shaquille's 31 and Kirsten is 32. He is an executive director, and she's a real estate agent. They're both educated. They're both Southern Christians, and they're both a little extra with that. So that in that way, I think they do match up well. The way they are, their religion, and how school and dressing up and all that stuff, it seems like it's important to them. And so even before they met up, just on paper, they just seem like a very good match. He mentors young men. In fact, he brought several young men to his tuxedo shopping. They did their wedding shopping last episode. And he brought a couple of young men, I guess, for the experience. I thought it was a good idea. I know other people thought, it made him look like he had no friends. But I think that was a good experience for those young men. He's very into his fashion, his clothes. I think he's over the top with it. But he's really into that. We learned that Kirsten's dad is not going to come to the wedding because he doesn't want to be COVID tested. So he's one of those. In last episode, when Shaquille was getting ready for his wedding, he's with his groomsmen and he starts crying. And he says he doesn't want to be alone anymore. And I kind of feel for this guy. But there's so many women out there. I don't understand what was so hard for him. He has everything going for him. I don't see why women are not pawing at him. So they get married. Kirsten is coming down the aisle, and she gets to him, and she doesn't greet him. This girl seems a little immature to me. She says she's a Christian, but at the bachelor party, she was a little party animal. And she seemed a little standoffish at the down at the aisle. And I guess he's looking at her. It's his wife, and he's never seen her before. He's trying to get a good look. And she's like, "What?" And I just thought, oh my God. Is that what we say, girl? Okay. I see she's not going to be one of my favorite people. She was a little immature, but she looked beautiful, though. I'll give her that. She looked beautiful. She looked like Kerry Washington. Olivia Pope. She really looked like Kerry Washington. Really beautiful. She even told her friends if she doesn't like the guy, he's not going to be able to kiss her on the lips. And at the wedding, we see her, when it's time to kiss the bride, he kisses her on the cheek. I guess she turns her cheek. So I guess that's signaling to her friends, she's not finding him attractive. He's bald. He has a beard, and she didn't want a guy that was bald. She wanted a guy with his hair, cut really short, but having hair. I guess she has a thing about bald heads, but I don't know. And this guy has been in an accident before, and he has a scar on his head. He was in a car accident when he was a child and thrown out of the car, wrapped around barbed wire, he said. So I think he has a mark, a scar visible on his head. They get to talking after they get married, and she does like his teeth. They both have nice teeth. He likes her. He likes the fact that he didn't get a chance to kiss her at the altar because she's setting boundaries, and he likes the fact, or at least he's talking himself into the fact, or the fact that maybe she doesn't like him, and saying, oh, yeah, I like that. I like that she's setting boundaries with me. And, they find out they're Christian and they have that in common. So, I just hope that her little stank attitude is not going to ruin this for her. She seems immature. She carries that, I'm this Christian Southern belle and all proper, prim and proper, but I think that's a little bit of an act. I hope there's no attitude and just issues behind, the way she's acting already. We'll have to see. And he likes her. He even said she was beautiful and at the altar. So he likes her. Let's see if she can fall for him. But that wasn't, not too much more happened. I guess we'll see a lot more next week with this couple. So let's go on and to the next couple. Okay, the next couple will be Dominique and McKinley, who goes by Mac. And Dominique is 25 and Mac is 34. And let's see, Dominique is a sales broker and Mac is a director of operations. And he's a transplant as well, coming to Nashville from another state. I don't know if he came to Nashville just for MAFS, because he's living with some friends, family friends, and he's been there for a couple of months. So I don't know if he's just here for this experience or what. Now, Dominique she's actually biracial. She's an only child and her mom is black. She calls herself an old soul. I don't see it. This girl's 25. She very much acts like a 25-year-old. So I don't see why she's calling herself an old soul. She talks to her mother every day, but that doesn't really make you an old soul. Her mother, in fact, signed her up for a Married at First Sight, and she's down with it. She's looking for a cuddle buddy. Now Mac is a college dropout, and his backstory is he was with a woman for several years, and she ended up FaceTiming him with a ring on her finger, and he thought that was a ring that she wanted him to buy her. And she informed him that that was her engagement ring from a guy she had been seeing. I guess she had previously cheated on Mac with this man, and somehow he got back into their lives, and he asked her to marry her, and she said yes, and she had the nerve to FaceTime him, introducing this relationship with a wedding ring on her finger, and he was unaware. So I'm sure he was crushed. So that hurts your soul deep down. And so I guess he thinks this experience, he'll be matched with someone who's better, someone who's been vetted. And then they match him with this black girl, half black girl, who seems a little wild and young. The age difference, it's almost, 9 years? I don't know. On paper, they don't seem like they would even know each other. Really? They don't seem like they would be attracted to one another. They have not met. Their wedding will be next week. And I just don't see them making it. I don't understand why they were matched. What will he think when he is waiting for her at the altar and the bride side of the family, all the black faces over there? What will he think when he sees that? It's going to be interesting. I just don't see this working out. They showed upcoming scenes from the season, and she is walking out of an apartment, it looks like, with a box of stuff. And I think she's crying. So I don't know if they're just teasing something that's not going to happen. But honestly, they just don't seem like they would work out anyway. But that remains to be seen. Okay, on to the last couple. right, the last couple will be Jasmine and Eris. Eris is 39 and a software engineer. Jasmine is 32 and she is a cheerleading coach. They seem very, they seem like they would match each other. I could see them going out with one another. I can't wait. They haven't been married yet. Their wedding will be next week. Eris's mom had him when she was 19, and his father, at some point in time, he was killed. And Jasmine, was a beauty queen and into cheerleading. So that's the backstory on them. They're getting ready for their wedding. Jasmine chooses a dress I think is just okay. And Eris is going to wear a black tux, which is classic. I like that. And Jasmine's mother, she's suffering currently with breast cancer. So it was a tearful moment. Her seeing her daughter getting dressed for their wedding, these are moments you cherish because, I think her diagnosis is really recent, like 3 months. She's like, I think she's known about it for 3 months. So she's going through that. I think Jasmine is really pretty, and she looks like the rapper Kaya, My Neck, My Back. She looks like Kaya. She's really pretty, and her family seems supportive. Eris's family, his cousin Felina, doesn't seem supportive. She tries to talk him out of this marriage. She, even at the day of his wedding, before he's getting set to get married, she's talking him out of it, trying to talk him out of it, like we could leave. She really doesn't believe in this, and looks like he's going to still do it, but they're really close. They're cousins, but they're like 3 months apart. I guess they were raised by one another, so they're more like brother and sister. Though, she needed to go somewhere and change that dress. I thought that dress that Felina, his cousin, was wearing was kind of falling off her chest. It was just looked a little bit like there was going to be a dress malfunction real soon. But that was it for them because nothing really happened. They're going to get married next week. So that was it for Married at First Sight. So far, so good. I'm glad we're getting the weddings. We got 3 of them this week, so we'll get the other 2, and we'll see how they interact with each other, because that's my favorite part of this show, is them meeting each other for the first time, interacting with one another. So I look forward to that. But that is it for now. I thank you for staying with me to the end. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it, and I thank you in advance. And check out my channel because I got a lot of videos, travel videos, and restaurant review videos. So check that out as well. But that's it for now. I gotta go because I got living to do. Bye.